welcome back to Croatia, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we have big plans for this episode. As you can tell, that Croatia has been expanding into Bosnia and Herzegovina, especially Herzegovina. That's the reason why there's a couple of rebel factions, separatists if you will, that we'll have to deal with some, not all. But we do have the manpower to start our next war, which will be against Venice, which we will be backed by the Ottomans, and soon Poland, once they recover their manpower, unless I to tell them to prepare for war. But first things first, we are building a spy network against our rival Venice, which I need that, even though there's a pretty good chance of spy detection, because what I also want is to fabricate at least 2 claims before war starts. I mean, these 2 areas of Dalmatia, Zara and Spalato, also known as Zadar and Split respectively, is considered one of Croatia's core provinces. It is part of the homeland, you know. But also plan on fabricating a claim on Ragusa and Cattaro, Dubrovnik and Kotor respectively, for 2 reasons. 1, here in Ragusa is where the center of trade is for the trade node of Ragusa, as this is a natural harbor. As we do have a natural harbor in Rijeka here, as well as another an emporium in Belgrade. Even though we only control 9% of the trade power. So controlling that would give us a little more trade power. As well as, let me see. There is a marketplace, so that gives us a little more local trade power when we control that area. And right now they're currently building a church for more local tax modifiers. So this will be a very valuable province to have. And it's also one of the most developed areas in all of the Balkans, which that could be argued, you know, with Rijeka still in development, or places like Tirhala, Atina, Constantine, or known in South Slavic languages as Zarigrad. Still, it's just, again, we can't deny that this is the most developed province in all of the Balkans. And up in that league is these 2, and in fact, now that we think about it as a whole, now Crete is right up there with the development with Ragusa. Just wondering what could rival the wealth of Athens or Constantinople or Edirne, the former Ottoman capital, before they decide to move in there. But nonetheless. But for now, we're still drilling our troops, preparing for eventual war, but first we have to deal with these separatists here. While our neighbors are still trying to add more claimants, but Serbia is dealing with Albania right now. If Albania succeeds in taking Zeta, I wouldn't mind fighting against them. But of course, fighting Albania means you'll be fighting Venice again. So now I'm at an impasse. By the time when I get these 2 claims of Ragusa and Cattaro fabricated, these claims, we have to declare war either against Venice itself or Albania. The Albanian option, should they succeed in their war against Serbia, will be easier. Stop drilling. Look. 90%. Get to position to Belgrade. Well, what, there's still a chance that you wouldn't want to do that should they rebel right now. Wait for the morale to be up. And just in case if they do spawn in Belgrade, because they would be besieging that area. It's pretty well-drilled army for now. Well, we're trying to get rid of this corruption so we can earn more of that income for the time being. So it's not going to be until about a year or three, or a year or two, I should say, that we will officially declare war against Venice for the entire Dalmatian coast. Basically, Dalmatian, Ragusa, Cattaro coast. Also, let me slow it down for you. Another reasons. Oh, because I've been noticing that icon has a link. Pass the heretical comprendo act. Make it an illegal offense, punishable by burning at the stake or to either own or produce a translation of the Holy Bible. It's because we're up there. Hey, a little bit of missionary strength. So that way one day we will convert these Orthodox provinces of Bosnia to Catholicism. Just to complete that mission. And this gives us a national tax modifier of 2. Do that. So we'll make a little bit of fortune out of this. And it'll be a lot easier now. And I've already made my decision that when we get up to Renaissance thought, which is going to take a while, that I will go for humanist ideas. For first reason and foremost, tolerance. Religious unity up. So it'll be a lot easier to convert. And plus, with the defensive ideas that we also have, if you complete both the defensive and humanist ideas, you'll get Preparation Act. Less land attrition and lessen the monthly war exhaustion. Very useful should we ever get into a really big war, even though we're about to get into a big war. When you think about it in the grand scheme of things. Anyways. Move! Alright, let's put this rebellion down, even though we're going to take a river crossing penalty. But you're standing in hills. We have the home field advantage. I like how I said home field advantage like it's a sport. Like football or something. Take a drink. Acceptable losses. Replaceable. We'll be back in full force before we fight against Venice. And now stand in Herzegovina. Mothball the fort. Go. Now we have to pay just to reinforce them. Now get back to drilling. Want to be a well-drilled army. A well-drilled wojska. Armia. All that. While the Ottomans are drilling too. Mehmed II is still very much alive. You know, I thought about improving relations with them again, sooner or later. I mean, you don't like Venice. What does Poland say? Poland is ready. They got their manpower. The Papal States, however, are in the middle of a war, interestingly enough, against Provence. Papal Provencal excommunication war. They've already won one battle. They're up against Provence, Lorraine, and Siena. And Papal State, Lucca, and Bologna. What's the relationship? Oh, they're allies, natural allies. Still a member of the HRE, and it's a free country, no longer under control by Burgundy, even though they're not as powerful as it once was since they took the Hague, Den Haag. Just want to know the interesting affairs of this world. We'll get another personality soon. Still at a pretty good age. I mean, I wish I could bring another ally in. I mean, the likely candidate would be Naples, as they consider Genoa as an enemy, but who knows? As if they need it. Check Albania real quick on their siege. And Serbia is besieging Albania. Krešimir is now calm, so hey, we could spend a little more for stability. If you wish. But the problem is, we're already a pretty stable country. Religious unity is a big problem. Because as we mentioned before, we can convert them right now, even though it'll take years. A couple of years and a half. But wait until you get this. And then you have that, then begin the conversion of Bosnia and Herzegovina. One more month, and then we'll fabricate a claim on Ragusa. So, stop currying favors with Poland. Be here in a week. Ragusa. Fabricating claim all the air, especially Venice, would be insanity. But start with this, and if we have time, fabricate for that too. And who knows, maybe Dorazo as well. Although we have no connections to that as far as sea zones is concerned. And I did say that I want to improve relations elements. I think we should do that during wartime. You got it. Bribes growing more accepted. What is the difference between an honest man and a fool? The fool doesn't know he is being swindled. So goes the increasingly common saying in Croatia. The spirit of which is proven to throw a more sinister change in the social fabric. Bribes are beginning to be seen as a natural consequence of the market, where any action carries a price. Those who refuse to take bribes are viewed as precisely as the saying suggests. Fools, worse than fools, sits there deliberately refusing money that could be theirs. The consequence of this cynicism, that any form of power truly corrupts, and no one believes that it is immune, not even a cry. It's still just a saying. So corruption is going to be around a little bit longer then. Blast it. The Ottomans have embraced the Renaissance, and subsequently they annexed Ramazan. Doesn't annexing a country give a more aggressive expansion? No. It's perfectly legal. If they like you well enough, that is. Albania took the capital now. I mean, excuse me, Serbia. What the? Whoa, you're in trouble now. Where are they going? Are you at war? Oh, no. Separatists of Albania. You know, they're with Serbia. You know, based on its current positioning, are there any more troop movements? Well, they're still drilling on the other side. Hope you're not doing anything. Your rivals, the Ottomans. Well, that's rather concerning. Even though I want both of them in. What the? What happened? Why are you in such big debt? And I can understand that the Ottoman ruler is cruel. I mean, that's just part of his personality. But you are hugely in debt. Does that mean, do I have to owe you money? Maybe that's the reason why, not only some of that trade power that I transferred to him so he can get more money out of it. But they are hugely in debt. Although, to be fair, I can increase opinion by telling him, hey, prepare for war. Ask us to spend 10 favors. They'll be ready. But I'm sure they're going to be taking up loans soon. Or, make budget cuts. Something. Among some of our nobles, it has become increasingly fashionable to spend time on experimentation and philosophy. Some have begun to form regular discussion groups while others use letters to correspond with other inquisitive minds. One such group is contacted Akrai asking for patronage and support. They insist that such endorsement will bring great benefits to the kingdom in the near future. Oh, I'll be spending quite a bit of money and administrative power. Nah, it's a waste of time. I'll take the prestige hit, even though we'll be gaining it during wartime. Well, they took a piece of Albania. So Serbia now has access to the sea. And more reparations and all that. So Serbia lives. For now. This I ask for the Ottomans is just give me more time to fabricate one more claim for this one, and then we'll go to war. I'm giving them time to get their financial situation, you know, all that. But they are in position, I think, they'll probably start a war against Albania, which are allied with the Knights, or possibly against Venice. They're on their way. Maybe all this military buildup is what's causing them to be in depth like that. But I can't go to war without the Ottomans, because they are very important to us. But if they're the ones that started a war against Venice, I'll take part and I'll get what I can out of this. Still guaranteed. Maybe perhaps we'll have to start that war sooner rather than later. And a Herzegovinian uprising potential isn't going to help it either. Which again, Poland will be... Oh, okay. So you got your debts paid and all. That's good. Good to know. But I don't think you can fabricate another claim during wartime. Although we do not see any Venetian troops on the shore, so it'll be easy for us to take the coast. But waiting for the Allies to come is another challenge. Aha. But in the meantime, keep drilling, even though the Ottomans look like they're ready for war. Even if they're gonna go into depth. But honestly, I don't think they'll declare war unless... Oh no, they're gonna go back to drilling. Okay. Just buying us some time. Because they don't want to go to war without their armies fully drilled and all. Much like we are. Epirus has joined a trade league with Venice, so that means when we declare war against Venice, well, Epirus will be there too, even though that contributes very little. They'll be quickly to be defeated by the Ottomans. Fabricate another claim, you need 25. So see if we can get up to 25 before this starts. While we will continue to drill the army as much as we can. Venice has declared war against Serbia. Reconquest. Core province? This is not. An inland Venice next to Croatia will be very concerning. So, who are they bringing? I mean, Serbia is alone on this issue, but Serbia is up against just Venice. Okay, just themselves. buy us more time. And the other problem is that makes Venetian troops right next door. So be careful. Give me a couple of months advance. That means the vast majority of Venetian troops that'll be there, and the Ottomans will quickly crush them while we will try to get away from them as quickly as possible. That's their admiral, but where's their land army? Who's commanding them? What are you doing over there? So, when you get that claim fabricated, just move towards, don't you? Well, not giving you access to my land, knowing my intentions are clear. But it's very concerning to see them in Serbia. In fact, they're probably going to take more than that. You know, my intention is to take this, this, and this, but if they do indeed take Zeta in the peace deal, I'll have that too. And we'll create Montenegro as a subject. Yes, I said Montenegro as a subject because one of the other missions is to acquire subjects. You gotta have at least 2. When Croatia takes Cattaro and Zeta, we will form, well not form, we'll release Montenegro as a subject. As, you know, one of their core provinces. And plus they'll have their own army and navy to support us a little bit. Every little bit helps. And I'm sure in time, when we fight against Serbia, I'll probably vassalize Serbia as well. Despite the humanistic ideas approach that we plan on taking in the future. Albania's still stuck because of them. Manpower is full. We're ready for war. Here we go. Fabricated claim on Cattaro, and that's all we want. Now stop the spy network. I mean, this would be a very good time right now to declare war, but move the armies away. Because all of Venice is in Serbia now. And with them coming this way, this would be very bad. So you probably want to step back to Zagreb. And if they try to take Herzegovina, well, no doubt they'll occupy all that. But still. Who else are enemies of Venice? Milan. Milan is a republic. An Ambrosian republic. Interesting. Common rivals. Threatened by Venice. Yes, we feel threatened by Venice indeed. But having one more ally on our side would be very beneficial. But too bad you're a republic, so we can't have a royal marriage of you. And the papacy is about to win this thing. They'll all be there, but we'll use the massive numbers. Oh, the Ottomans are no longer in debt. I'm sure they've took some loans. Or used privileges to get other financial means. And all that. Since when is Cyprus an independent nation? Oh, it's a vassal of the Mamluks. Vassal of the Mamluks? Very well. 86. And I'm sure we'll get more money through the looting of foreign cities. And then we ought to build that church because we still have that agenda. Which you got a few years till you finish that. And we'll get it. So move into position into Zagreb, then war is declared. And now that we've freed up with it, let's improve relations with the Ottomans just to keep our line strong. It's been a long time, so this'll do. Now, how about it? Alliance with Milan. 2, 1. Will they join? No, of course not. You just need favors, and plus malevolent. I mean, of course it's always with the favors, but still. We can help you out on a few things. Whereas they have no quarrel with Venice, at least. And currying favors is going to take a long time since we don't know each other that well, but enemy of an enemy. Come here. Maybe during the course of the war we'll get you to intervene. I mean, you got a pretty good strength. We can use you. 1 more month, and then we'll curry favors and subsequently declare war against Venice. And of course we gotta deal with the Herzegovinian separatist problem. They're encroaching their way here, but once they... I think that sounds like assault. That does not sound like a siege. They breached it once and they are going for it. Yes, they did. They have the manpower and they're like, okay, come on, let's bring it in. 28,000. That's their entire army over there. Moving it to niche. Don't just stand there. I mean, they are going to stand there. So, what's the matter? Oh, you're raising new regiments. Listen, Poland. Look what you have. You have 23,000 soldiers. Lithuania, who is with you, has 17,000. 6,000 from Danzig. And another 5,000 from Moldavia. What are you worried about? I'm gonna tell you this once. I'm asking you to prepare for war. Got 1 week. As both influential landowners and the traditional warrior class in our states, the nobility has not fared well lately. Through a combination of excessive infighting and poorly coordinated power plays, the nobility has lost influence in Zagreb, and many have retired to their properties in the countryside. Okay. There. Now you're going to be with us. We told you to be ready. And you're going to be ready, damn it. Ragusa will be the objective. when we get some favors out of Milan, then you'll eventually see the call to arms option to come up. So we can open up another front just to give them pressure. That's what I envisioned. And we'll deal with that Herzegovinian uprising as soon as the Venetian army is dealt with and out of my sight. You got it? Alright. The stage is set. It's settled then. The objective is to take Ragusa. We're not using reconquest. And we will bring the Ottomans, Poland, and their vassals with us. We'll be against a lot of countries, but... Mantua and Epirus they will join because they're part of the Trade League. They're allied with the Knights in the Papal States because that's what they are. They'll probably call a crusade against the Ottomans for that, but in actuality, we're using the Ottomans just to help us take some territories all along the coast, with the exception of Durazzo and Istria. That'll be for another conflict, knowing that Istria is part of the modern-day Republic of Croatia as we know today. Now, Ragusa! We may be blockaded because their navy is large. They still have a lot of manpower reserves behind them. And in the meantime, we will be currying favors with Milan for the coming months. And each passing year gives us a bit closer for Milan to eventually join the war against Venice when we call them in, to put more pressure on its side. But I believe the amount of manpower, so 88,000 infantry with 25,000 cavalry on this allied side, against them with 33,000 infantry and 4,000 cavalry. Yes, they're badly outnumbered, but they have the naval experience more than any of us, except maybe the Ottomans. And some of the ships from places like Poland and Danzig, excuse me. It won't be here because of the distance of it. Jesus! Let's go. The Pope has called for a crusade against the Ottomans, which is just a way of saying, hey, rally up. He proclaimed a holy war. That's what he just did. That's manpower recovery speed. And any other Christian nation would join, they may do so. They're probably going to go for Belgrade against us next, but... Subsidies. My cry. In an effort to advance their own interests, and others have requested our help in exchange for subsidies. We will receive 1.90 each month of ducats for the duration of 20 years. Thank you very much. Giving me some money for the war effort. That'll be enough money to build that church, if we wish to, but we need to take these areas first, knowing that they're right over there. And they got a damn good general. This general there's Fire 4, Shock 3, Maneuver 2, Siege. Mehmed II is still around. But they're on their way, so be patient. The Allies lost that one. Only because of, they just don't have the morale. And plus enemy reinforcements coming in. That's another reason. But there'll be another navy coming through, but... I don't know, naval front's going to be pretty difficult. But this one that's on the other side, well, they're moving that way. Even though we're going to be blockaded in for a while. All we have to do is wait for reinforcements from the Ottomans and Poland, even though we're going to be quite occupied for a bit. They're gonna take longer to get here, but just wait for salvation. We can't block all the areas, so they are likely going to be heading for Zagreb. So, let's make for Polish territory. Let's get out of here. Let's have a meet. They're on their way. Let's turn around. This is massive. Mind you, this is the Grand Army. Or whatever it is in the Venetian language for Grand Army. So come on, let's get together and kick them out of Zagreb. Anybody? Form up. We're waiting. So there's 11,000 of us. Poland, Ottomans, yes. What else? Yeah, we have enough manpower to defeat their entire army, hopefully, but I'm sure some of your generals are a bit more better than I. Because I'm a defensive planner. And this gives Serbia some pressure, some respite, to retake some of their lost territories. But it seems this Lithuanian general is the best one out of all of us. Wish we had someone better of our own, but no. The king is the best that Croatia has to offer. Those damned Mamluks. Enemy of the enemy. Of course they would be sending gifts. This one Ottoman army will be dealing with Epirus. Just besiege their fort. And when they're down, they are knocked out of the war. And we'll be receiving more friendly reinforcements. They're still on their way. And many more will come. Get ready to move into Bjelovar. That's the place to be. Are you sure? Do you want to come here? Because the battle's to be fought and I want you fellas to help us out here. What are we doing? You coming? Are you? Yes? No? Maybe? Going to Bjelovar too. 3 armies will be heading to Bjelovar. Or we're just gonna hold them off. Again, we have similar maximum morale. What does Venice have on ideas? Humanist. Okay. Friendly reinforcements arrived, but the morale is breaking. We need help. He's defeating us in every way. Morale is crumbling. We barely won that one. Oh my goodness. Yeah. We took a beating. But they're going to be on retreat for now. We defeated the Grand Army. The best army that Venice has to offer. We've killed off 10,000 of them. That's what it felt like. I mean, I'm sure I probably got the map of it off. Now let's head to Ragusa. Remember the main objective. You know, that's my area. Some of our grain farms are having an excellent year, allowing us to feed more troops and so increasing our manpower. You can never have too much manpower. It's badly needed those days. This is my siege. Scram. This is my relevant objective. It's my war, not yours. In the sense of who's leading what. Because I want Cattaro. It doesn't belong to the Ottomans. Huh? I mean, who am I to tell them? No, Spalato. Go put pressure on them. Serbia took Zeta back. Alright. That puts pressure on Venice with the Serbian war. The House of Svacic is shaken. It seems there's been a misunderstanding regarding the heritage of the great-grandmother of Krešimir V. It seems that she was a daughter of a lowly farmer outside of Zagreb. Well, our legitimacy is never the best, so deny it fervently. You're in the woods now. Sure, the Allied armies will defeat them. Herald to the Ottomans, they tell us of administrating an empire. Bureaucrats have long favored paper over parchment and other materials due to how much easier it is to work with. There are also various measures that could be taken to make official papers harder to falsify. The invention of the watermark in Fabriano is one. Elaborate marbling techniques and the calligraphy of Islamic Islamic paper produces another. As empires increasingly come to grow to encompass more than one continent, this need for approval, authenticity, and ease of use has led to imperial bureaucracies from China to Europe exclusively using paper for official documents and orders. Price of the paper has increased until the end of the game. Reformers have put forward a new confession of faith that has some minor but still serious differences with Catholic teachings. The Church claims its borders on heretical, as there are those who suggest it would bring Church and its administrative apparatus tighter control. Promote it, because we're trying to get up there. Got 2 years. And then we'll adopt humanist ideas. Epirus is not out of the war yet. But once they are, we'll get them to peace out. Disappointed that the Ottomans have occupied Cattaro instead of me. Yes. Let's build that church right now. We have the money. And I'm sure I'll be getting more money through other means. I know I missed the other battles, so the papacy's been defeated, but the Grand Venetian army is still roaming around. And it's rather concerning. More of that trade embargo against Croatia. Bohemia has embraced the Renaissance now. Of course they are. Think. Oh. Look at this. The Allies lost this one. Only because the Ottomans decided to back out. Fully reinforced now. They're on their way. You didn't finish the siege. They're still around. But now we're taking a war to them. I guess we don't need Milan's help. So I guess I'll just take these three then. But give nothing in return for the Ottomans. Other than to say, hey, improving relations a little more until we reach the max. And then we'll curry favors just to give them more trust. Because we still have a bit of a... They're still need to trust someone. But I like to increase that. Not now. Wait till the siege is over, then we'll get the Herzegovinans. Or are you going to do that for us? Okay, they will do that for us. Thank you. We got them. Now, if we can only have taken the capital, then we would get a much favorable peace deal. 18 ships versus 40. Clearly the Venetian fleet has lost a few ships themselves. Oh, they're still up there. Don't spend it. Plan on saving it for this. Much as same with this one. The House of York wins the War of Roses. It finally comes down as Richard III succeeds in claiming the throne and becoming the new ruler of England. Oh, they will meet in battle. Get away from there. If you can intercept them, I'll try to intervene. Oh, you're about to get into trouble. I think they're going to want Spoleto back. Florence has given us 40 ducats. Thank you very much. You're another one of Venice's enemies, are you? You took Siena. Thank you very much. Although you're a republic too. A Italian Signoria. Ah. Uniquely Italian. Italiani in Croatian. No? They're moving away. They're in Herzegovina now. Are they going to use their massive forces against them? Makes you want to get in there because they're going to take that territory away from the Ottomans. That's good. So that way there's room for me. We need to take it, but of course we got to defeat them in battle first. Alright, you got your house of worship. The clergy will be more loyal to us, and base 1 tax in Zagreb, increasing its development. Follow us. Wait, don't move. Let them finish their occupation, and then we'll move in. Of course, we'll be taking a river crossing. But not in Herzegovina. Move up. Follow us. We know what to do. And plus, the Ottoman general's better than me. Stop them. And we're going to take a penalty in the hills terrain. So 11,000 of us, 15,000 of the Ottomans, and very little of the Crimeans. Of course, we still got to deal with the Bosnian separatists a little later. But one thing's for certain for Venice, they're nearly out of manpower. They're trying to refill it, but he's an inspirational leader, so they could take along with the wear some defensive kind of. So we shall see. So now the Ottoman fleet's blockading the Gulf of Venice. When the fort in Trevisto falls, the Allies will move in, and if as long as there's no ships that are leaving into the Gulf of Venice, they will get in Venezia itself and besiege it. Taking their capital would definitely increase the war score a bit more, giving us a much more favorable peace terms. But now we gotta defeat this army all by ourselves. Battle will start in a week. So, come on. Slow down a bit here. We're gonna catch them. Just to get a look at that terrain, since we don't often look at that graphically. That would be the Crimeans, who are the nomads. And this is our Ottoman general who will be leading. Fire 3, shock 2, maneuver 3. Alves is fire 4. So he's slightly better. But recover army morale speed. That's for after battles, not during. He has no leadership traits. We're fighting in the hills here. We have the numbers. Not good. Our morale is leaving us because he's been getting much better dice rolls as we are. Most definitely not good. I don't think the reinforcements will be here in time, but will this sacrifice go on? Yeah, we're about to lose this one, but it was a necessary sacrifice. They'll be coming in and drive them out of here. We hope. to avenge us. We'll be going all the way to Constantinople. Battle begins again. Mehmed II himself, also an inspiration leader, fighting in the hills. Avenge us! And he shall. Even though the Venetian general is still better. Florence is the new papal control. Well, that's my friend. Sort of. Yes? Give Cephalonia to the Ottomans. Okay, I can see that. I will get 2 ducats. No aggressive expansion, but hey, a territorial gain for the Ottomans because they wanted Epirus for a long time. So give it to them. As stated. As I said, avenge us. And they indeed did. They killed them all. Now, if you excuse me, I got Cattaro to take. Thank you. Too bad I can't, force march. That's not a thing until Administrative Tech 15. Cattaro is mine. I'm gonna race to it. They still persist. Oh yeah, we also got the Bosnian separatists that we have to deal with together. And their other army's still running around. Not as strong, but no leader. Beat you to it. This land is mine. Gotcha. Papal forces. Master of arms, inspirational leader, and cool. But friendly reinforcements will soon be arriving. Even though they're also heading that way too. Move on. You have to deal with that Bosnian uprising. Unless they're gonna go after Serbia. But I think it's better just to kill them all. No casualties. Papal forces defeated. We got the territories that I really wanted, but now all I have to do is wait for Trieste to fall. They don't have access to Venice because their fleet is on the move. Oh hell. Won this one. They bypassed Serbia and decided will cause a bit of devastation now. While I'll be on my guard until we deal with the Bosnians. Here they come. Of course they would be up in the mountains. Beat them up. Together. Minimum losses. War recovered nicely in the post-war years. No doubt. You've got many more ships in the Ottoman fleet than the Venetians have. And the papacy fleet. Who speaks? A loan offer from Milan. Milan is offering us a loan of 35 ducats until December. We have to pay an interest 3% yearly if we accept. Offering us a loan. Very well. So we're borrowing money from another country, but of course you got a couple of years, 9 years in fact. Oh then. Well, I thank you for it, but I'll try to spend wisely. Now with the separatism dealt with, once Trivesto falls, we can try to take Mantua out, because they got a considerable amount of manpower. So let's march there now. Not worried about them. The Ottomans can deal with that. Oh, here we go. Just as we've been waiting for. This allows us another group of ideas, as we've mentioned in this episode before. It will be humanist ideas. Just like Venice. And we'll save up the administrative power to, you know, core these two lands. And then subsequently build up that administrative power to have tolerance, and we'll begin the conversions. And with religious unity, that also reduces corruption. About to take over this siege, or gonna help you with this siege. Let's bring Trevisto down together. Our free trade policies forcing our merchants to become more innovative. One in particular looks like he'll become a great man. Need to find a job for him. You know, I have no means of advisor maintenance. The herald from the Ottomans. They tell us of bronze cannons. The bronze cannon has made its entrance on the battlefield and is here to stay. The materials need to feed a growing cannon-making industry has led to an explosion in the demand for copper over the last few years, and prices have risen for the result. Until the end of the game. 49%. They should surrender soon. Oh no, disease outbreak for all of us. More news. Still persistent. They tell us of wasting. Gem cutting masters in Constantinia have made a breakthrough in the diamond cutting by experimenting with diamond dust suspended in oil and on their scythes. This allowing the Ottoman artists to cut rare stones in entirely new shapes and to much greater brilliance. The resulting technique, known as wasting, produces a stone of much more pleasing geometric shape and with better optical qualities. As the new stones and the technique for making them spread across the courts and workshops, the demand for jewelry, diamonds, and precious stones is increasing greatly. Gems will now be produced in Constantinople and get Diamond District. Price gems up till the end of the game. Till the end of this playthrough. Okay. Wow. They're about to run out of manpower here. Despite the numerically superior and an inspirational leader of theirs as well. 2, 1, fall. Nope. Still no. And we hope for the Ottoman fleets and others can take out their fleet. Because they're still around. And it's rather concerning. %. Alright. See, it's that damned attrition and the blockade, which isn't really that effective. Is that all the reserves you have? Oh, they're near exhausted. You could spend some of the diplomatic power now. Weren't planning on using it anyhow, so this is just a stall for time. Start currying favors with them again. Just want to ensure of their trust with us. They've surrendered. It took you 2 years. 2 good years. Madmen. All of you. Now you have free reign, even though there's more obstacles before you can begin your march to Rome, even though they're dealing with heretics right now. Are you going to Rome? No? They're heading to here. Sent an expeditionary force into Italia. Very good. Now, if only you could combine your fleets, defeat them here, blockade them, and we'll have access to Venice. Now we have to take out one of their allies. Get the idea. Out! Stop! They're moving this way. Kill them. Don't let them get back to Venice. Alright, now you got your army here. And they got a free company there. A few more armies are still on the loose. We're still on the loose. So, we have to... Who's with us? The Ottoman army. Alright. They're still our backup. But due to their small size, it's going to be hard to catch them. Where are you going? Padova. It's over there. I see. Oh, you're attacking. Good. We plan on getting back to there because they might retake one of their territories. Particularly Ragusa, the main objective. Chase them. Chasing them out. We'll kill off this small army here. They almost have nowhere to run. Oh, it's Serbia. I'm taking it to them. They still have Crete, you know. They still have a way out, you know. The Knights never came out of there. Surprisingly. Meanwhile, the papacy's got heresy trouble. They're just gonna run to wherever the heck they want. So they're long gone now. They're basically lost. What? Oh. Government reform. It's bureaucracy. This one's more suitable. Centralized bureaucracy. A centralized bureaucracy is centered on the capital of the kingdom, with most decisions made by or near the ruler and then sent out to the provinces. Just a reduction on monthly autonomy change. Make it easier to govern these areas that we're trying to have reduction in autonomy here. You know, corruption's kind of slowing it down. But we'll have that rid of sooner or later. And also we'll be soon having this. And we'll get that new set of cavalry in post-war. Oh, you're sticking with us? Transferred. What? Tunis raided the coast. Oh, that I occupied it, even though it's given by the Ottomans. Oh, okay. Never mind that. There's no fort here. Maybe we should just go that way. Knowing that they're going to be causing trouble, and as long as they have this in the land... Peace! Mantua has fallen. Pillaged! That's aggressive expansion penalty if we do that. For pillaging. No, I got a much better offer. No. I just want you out of here. And pay war reparations. Just war reparations and money. That's it. That's all I want out of you. Give us money because we are a low-income country. Pillaging you would be too good for us, and plus, I need to save that aggressive expansion penalty for taking the coast. If I do any more than that, there is going to be a coalition against me doing what I did. Just all these. Got it? So Mantua's out of the war. That's good. No leaders here, but numerical superiority against them. Now, meanwhile, we're coming in to deal with that damned general of theirs. Morocco. Sure. You're in trouble now. Plus, they've been blockading you for a while, so sending a mass against them. Brave, but foolish. Oh, the Papal army is up here. Do it. Military tactics up, combat will increase by 2, as well as infantry fire and shock. Now we're up in that level. Another reason of why we've been getting our tails kicked by Venice is because they are militarily, technologically superior than us Croats. Well, now we're up at their level. Well, Florence has declared war against Venice. Good luck to you. And Mantua has joined to fight off against them. Just Florence. Florence is also going to be dealing with those who are members of the Trade League. That's another reason. Even though they are in little position to defend themselves. Papal State. Rome's fallen. Okay. What are you... Pillaging your homeland. No, no, no. That's aggressive expansion. No. You pay reparations to me too, because your land is valuable. You're asking Papal States. Just give me the war reparations. I don't want to pillage your capital because that's insanity. Pillaging Rome, bringing its development back to Zagreb. As I said, insanity to be thinking of such things. I mean, look, this is very good development, but as much as I would love to add development to my own country, but we'll think about that. Because we did it with pest before and it hasn't recovered. And as much as I want to make Croatia a prosperous country and bring us some development back here, but that's a bit of aggressive expansion, you know? Which isn't going to bode well with our fellow neighbors like Austria. Okay, maybe we should do that. Though this is probably going to come back to bite me and pillage the capital, so if we do that, Rome this state will lose 5 development. Much of development also will end up in our capital. Some will be distributed among our other states. So, some will be lost. In total, we will gain 4 development. 4 development. Right. So you will pillaging and war reparations. And about as much money as you're willing to afford. But again, this is gonna be cause between 1 and 10 aggressive expansion relations penalty of all those countries that come in contact with us. They are never gonna forgive us for this, is the papacy. Oh dear. So what does this mean now for the development? It was 10, but now it's up to 13 for Zagreb. 11 for Rijeka, 8 for Bjelovar, so it remains the same. Again, some but not all. But more importantly, 13, so we're right up in the level next to Chile. So yes, we've got that development out of Rome. We sure just did that, but hey, better than us. So now it's base tax is 6, production is 5, but base manpower is only 2. Again, we did this because Croatia cannot sustain itself with our current, army and navy when it's at full maintenance, and the forts that we will own. It's never going to be fully maintained, and we'll never get the desired income. But the war reparations sure will. Alright, move out. Move out to Bosnia. Tunis pirates at it again. I think it's for that area we've occupied. I didn't see where. But now, if we want to end this war, which we can and will, remember the relevant objectives. Cattaro, Ragusa, the war goal, Spalato, and Zara. And a coalition may form against us, which is just Venice and Venice only because of the aggressive expansion that we already have, which is just what we did for devastating Rome. And of course the subsequent war reparation and humiliation. Well, I guess humiliate would be too strong, but I think we should drag this war on a little bit longer. There's still a few more forts to occupy, and their armies must be dealt with. Their capital has not fallen yet, but when the armament fleet gets up here and blockade the Gulf of Venice, we'll have access, take the capital, and that's it. That's how we're going to end this war. Hungary has declared war against Serbia. Now it's for certain, with that kind of manpower, they will take all of Serbia, if not most. Particularly at the areas where Hungary has a permanent claims to it and will never expire. That means we'll have to be dealing with the Hungarians next time. We'll have enough favors with Milan, which I'll put a stop to it, because anything for Florence. And even though it's too late for Milan to join a war of this factor, but the next time we fight against Venice, do join. That's what we need you for. Even though they are a republic. Oh, Milan has declared war against Venice. Very well. Even though Venice would be the only member of their own anti-Croatian coalition, but all I could say is, well, you got your hands full, pretty much. I mean, look at you. Oh, it's that damned commander. What reinforcements will be on the way? We'll get him. Took slight casualties. Killed off more than half of our manpower to this damned war. Just occupy Istria just to add a bit more to that war score. Oh, the diet. Completely forgot. Let's summon that diet now. Alright, what do we got here? The clergy urges us to build a magnificent house of worship in Yelovar. That means church. The nobility are concerned at the threat posed by our rivals of Venice. They recommended we befriend our rivals, Aragon, so that they may stand strong against them. The burghers request that we invest in the prosperity of the city of Osijek. That's in Slavonia, right? Yes. There's some money in that. Whereas this is for base tax. And don't forget about the interest, because we're still paying Milan for that loan that they borrowed from them. And I said, I don't want to spend too much. Because we get our money through the Ottomans, through the subsidies, and the war reparations by our defeated foes. Yeah. Base production 4 in Slavonia. We can do that. And there's some monetary reward for this. You got it. More loyalty and monetary reward. And since we will be taking control of the area, that'll give us more trade power, since there's a natural harbor here, a natural harbor there. So I thought about, well, let's spend the marketplace, more local trade power here. And I guess another for Belgrade also, because, you know, they hold the most trade power now, but we want to play catch up to them. So I don't know about spending another one here. Not yet. We'll call him again in 5 years. We're just going to drag this war on as long as we can. If the Ottoman fleet is willing, ready and willing to send them over here and deal with them. They're willing to accept but coalition, which it's only Venice. Of course they won't take the money, so let me decrease that a little for you. There you go. But there's one more fortress that'll fall. Wait for that. That's what I'm doing. Just dragging this war on as long as it can. Just to spite them. Show them that they have nowhere to run. But too bad we won't occupy the fort, but I think the war score is good enough. Of course. Wait for this fort to fall and war score jumps up. Poland has decided to share the knowledge of Brandenburg. Alright. By the way, after the during this course, so how old is our monarch? 45. And Stepan is more than ready. In fact, now that there's time, switch to these new units. Compared to the Eastern, Shadow Cavalry is a vast improvement, especially in shock. So again, these cavalry, I was in the middle of texting them. The Straditor developed in the Albanian Greek areas of the Balkans with little or no armor. They were armed with sabers, lances, and maces. This light cavalry was excellent for screening, reconnaissance, and raiding into disarray or fleeing enemies. With the fall of Byzantium, many sought refuge in the west, and the Venetians, Straditor cavalry of the late 15th century is believed by some to have introduced modern light cavalry tactics to the west. So morale is down just for a bit because we just got this new cavalry, and we got Venice calls for peace. They've had enough. Well, can't pillage your capital because everybody in Europe will be mad. And whereas we've been in very good relations with the Ottomans, of what we just pulled. That's another reason why we're stalling for time. Also, you have a claim? A claim on what? On this area? Oh, I understand that. I guess you did this because you got a mission that got you a claim this area, unless you fabricated them. Nope, this is real. That adds a little bit of tension. Which I hope that day will never come. Because we're about to take some territory from them. Wait for this to fall. With the union of Stepan and Yelena, we've not only gained a spouse, new ally in Rome. The Subic is an old and influential family, and their seat in Donia Krai is the jewel of the kingdom. Of course, friendship has to go both ways, and Yelena will be expected to speak for her kin, while our Krai will be expected to consider such advice carefully. To everlasting friendship, our Krai is dead. That's what that super drop means. So now Stepan Svacic is the new Krai. And we'll have a future Christian 6 who is much better in future. And alright for Yelena. Just born this year. Her old one is dead. Yikes. That's all I gotta say. But stability is not a real issue right now. But I'm ignoring the pleas until their last fort falls, and then subsequently we'll go for more peace negotiations. Even though we already have a limit, I just want our ally to devastate the province a bit, so that way it'll make it easier for Florence and Milan to do their thing. Wait a minute. That's it? That's all you wanted? Branded Chivo? Yeah, waiting for the aggressive expansion to go down is another reason why I'm stalling for time on the upcoming peace deal. Defenders desert. Still 20%. Stop currying favors, Milan. You got what you wanted. That's for future conflicts against Venice. Mildly concerned that they have a claim against us, so that adds a little bit of tension, so to speak. Perhaps you should also look to Florence, you know? It's a republic. Naples is a kingdom. Rivals with... Damn. I guess you're pretty good, so... Let me see. Ah, here it is. Maybe we'll have a future alliance between us. What's that? Purchase an ability. We've done it. Yes, embrace the Renaissance. It humiliated a rival. Could purchase an ability. That is a big one for me. What else? This is exclusive to the Ottomans, this is exclusive to Portugal, exclusive to Denmark, and this is exclusive to Venice. Got enough splendor. That's what splendor is. Justified wars would be a big one for me, because we want to reduce the impact as possible. But it'll be until the start of the next stage. Fall. Until this cider falls, or So the war score reaches 99. A devout young preacher spoken out about how great our adherence to the teachings of the Holy Father in Rome is. This can only be good for our future, even though we're kind of devastated about it. It seems they don't mind. You paid no mind. Send them to Rome. I still want some of that papal influence if I need something good from them. I hear you, but I'm ignoring your call. Because we're doing this my way. Too bad we couldn't devastate their capital, because the Navy's still there. And the Ottomans are unwilling to send their ships out. Now they're looking to get their land back, and maybe Venice will peace out of Serbia. Supply shortage. Oh, here we go. We can peace out the knights. Okay. Whoop. Again, this will be reparations. Also, doesn't making somebody a vassal cause. Yep. That's just for future reference. In case I were to vassalize Serbia in future. No? Oh yeah, we never had any dealings with... No, it's already over. Stick with what you have. That's the penalty reduction I'm trying to do. No coalition. So these areas, Cattaro, Spalato, Zara, Ragusa, to Croatia. Venice, 10% of their income, which they do make a very good income, them being a merchant republic. Venetian Republic. They will be humiliated for more power projection. We'll get some ducats, not a lot. Because remember, we still got to give them that loan to Milan. And when does it expire? Remind me? Oh, still got plenty of years. So, here you go. This will establish a truce between us. Sir. Croatian conquest of Ragusa is complete. Boy. So, it was a bastard of war, but... Hey. These are all the casualties. This was the deadliest war yet. At least in our participation. But in total, we only lost 12,000. No, nearly 13,000 for the Croatians. The Ottomans lost more. So did Crimea. Poland. Dovian. This one took it a lot for us. And we thank them for their sacrifice. Venice took a beating with these casualties. Very little from the knights. Plenty from the papacy. And all that. So that's their total. Of their ships lost here, while we lose very little to navy. That's allied. Keep in mind. So this was a very, very brilliant victory for Croatia, but we got a lot of work to do. And we did humiliate them. Now you can all scram while I mothball the forts and make all that nice income now. The opportunistic merchants of Venice have exploited our complacency to seize control of the Adriatic coast. We must reclaim Dalmatia for Croatia, which is also known as Dalmatia in Croatian. So here's some of that prestige. Since we gained very little, well, this is for completing the mission. There you have it. Now remember, when we convert all of Bosnia-Herzegovina into Catholic, the Bosnians will become an accepted culture. We don't intend to introduce Croatian to them. And we gotta start investing in that Croatian fleet for more naval tradition and trade power propagation will do, which would help us, to dominate Dubrovnik. The Republic of Ragusa has thrived as an independent state, not anymore, through shrewd diplomacy and advantageous trade agreements, but it is time for Ragusa to rejoin the greater Croatian realm as Dubrovnik. Dubrovačka Republika is also known as the Republic of Ragusa. So we need to complete this first. And also we gotta have the strongest trade power in Ragusa. Dalmatian and Serbian, or in this case Montenegrin separatists now we have to deal with for the time being. Still good? How about trust? Because I plan on spending some favors to get you to trust us more. Doesn't help that you're still around, you being cruel and all, which it says betrayed our allies without second thoughts, which we don't want that in our conscience. Where? Ah. Whew. Lots of reparation money. It's already built here. So the Ottomans control 90%, we control 15% of the trade power. Time to start investing in the Navy now. No. Light ship here. Give me 5, that's the requirement. Now move up to Herzegovina. No coalition, thank goodness. Clergy political struggle. The time has come for the clergy to appoint a new leader to assist our Kraj in the capital. Oh yeah, the royal marriage, I forgot about that. Even though I already have an heir. So. Yes. We don't have a royal marriage of Bohemia anymore. And we're looking to have an alliance with Florence instead of Naples. So anyways, to appoint a new leader to assist our Kraj in the capital. The likely candidate is an old cleric of solid history, has a prominent member of the clergy behind him. He has, however, also acquired many enemies during his life. Ooh. I hope to see somewhat of a younger candidate with a less ugly past to be appointed. Yeah. As Kraj, it would not be hard to influence this election of the younger candidate who would likely be more loyal, but to be seen in the middle of the affairs of the clergy, however, will very likely weaken the faction in the long run. Do not meddle in the affairs of the clergy. We need their influence. Reason? It helps with the tax modifier. That's from Spoils of War. Calm down. Once these ships are made, then and as they will go to this second fleet, which will be all light ships, which they will protect trade power, just to add more of that. And we'll be alright. Now, we don't expect the Ottomans to do anything stupid, but unfortunately, they picked Poland as a rival, so they don't like that. So, let's trade favors for trust. Just please trust us. Basically bowing to them more. We're going to spend all the favors on the trusting. Oh. White piece. No. Pay 8 ducats to Venice. So technically Venice won that war, but gained almost nothing in return other than just say, here's some money. Tell us about the end of the Castilian Civil War. Small possible options they went would bring us closer to Portugal as the course of action. See. One more time. And we'll have enough favors for the Ottomans to tell us to, you know, just to join the wars. Loyal to Burgundy. That's it. Now I gotta get rid of this overextension deal. Again, this development. 9. Make 9. One. And a part of that is due to the war reparations with a bunch of countries, including Venice, the big one. But we want to increase more income from trade as well. This is what we're working on. And when our manpower recovers, and then we will also increase the size of the army. Start drilling. Oh, right. I'll take charge. See what I got. 2 fired, 1 shock, 3 maneuver. No siege. Well, someone's got to do it. Never. I don't want to do that all the time, but still. And not concerned about stability right now. So, how do you like us now? The Ottomans trust Croatia to uphold their bargains. Good to know. Yeah, I know. Just remembered. Till April next year. Religious unity, then we'll begin the conversions. Start drilling. Maybe I can improve the skills. May never know. Just in preparation to deal with any kind of rebellion around here. Be it Montenegrins or Dalmatians. While meanwhile we're investing in the Navy for the first time. We won't be there for you. Too distant. At least you're fighting off somebody else. What else? Serbia has no allies, but they are guaranteeing the independence of Albania. We can handle this ourselves. Because remember, the next war will definitely be Serbia. Which our truce with them will expire in December in 2 years. And which the main objective will be Zeta. Which this will be the key step to having Montenegro as a subject. And possibly making Serbia a vassal. Well, we have plenty of time to rest, invest, and subsequently develop. whatever events that'll come up and we'll deal with it. Mehmed II is dead. Now it's Mehmed III, who isn't as good, skill-wise, but said to be an administrator. Right, wait 1 month, and we'll know the personality of him, of what he's like. Because I didn't pay attention to his age, honestly. What's he like? Tolerant. More likely to ally heretics and heathens. You know, like me. At least there's no crew ruler, so that means there is absolutely no chance that they'll break an alliance with us. Despite the fact that they are rivals of Poland. But they got nothing against Poland. Other than just say, we don't like you. Love to humiliate rival. What the hell is tender rebels for Milan, even though it's a republic? But meanwhile, they may have low manpower, but doesn't mean that they could still... It's gonna be a long time before we ever fight them again. We'll turn Dalmatia into the state once we've cored Dubrovnik. Come on. Oh, this is about as much as I could do? Okay. Don't be afraid to spend on something. And you say you want to be a strong trade power? Well, build more marketplaces. Got a church here, a church here. Venice has been investing this land well. Let me see. Sarah was a growing economy. Well, screw it. Need more local trade power. And in the next 100 days, these ships will be set in sail. And after that, 5 galleys. And then, more transports. Okay, that's fine. We're about to increase the income and trade when we protect trade power, and we'll start making a profit out of it. May invest in more light ships once we're done assembling this fleet here. Of course, that's when you're at 100%. Yeah, they're all built. All right. So I'll add more trade power to Ragusa. This fleet costs this in maintenance. I mean, we won't make that much of a profit, but I need a strong trade power here. Because Venice is 20%, we have 15. I know it makes a little difference, but every little bit helps. %, 19. We earned some here. Yeah, we do need more light ships. And also get this province cored. Because that autonomy there is messing with the trade power. And I will enact an edict once we turn this to a state. Peasants getting uppity. Our efforts to keep the peasants in their place have been somewhat too successful in recent times. So harsh is our rule. In fact, the destitute are becoming increasingly vocal in their complaints and turning against their landlords, demanding better treatment and conditions. Oh dear. Need that administrative power. So these things happen, I guess. This will remain a territory. But this coming November, Dalmatia will be a state. And meanwhile, we'll have Serbia dealt with in the next year. No interference. No fooling around. And that's why we're drilling our army for this. Here it is. Tolerance. Now we got our first Croatian idea, Hrvatski ban. Since the earliest periods of our state, ban has been a title of local rulers and office holders in Croatia. Historically, an institution of ban has continued in various forms until the 20th century. So leaders without upkeep, +1. With that religious unity increased, now it's much easier. Start with that. So conversions will begin, and it'll be done in 8 years. Yipe. See? But be careful, there might be Orthodox zealots every time you do these conversions. There should be a stable government. Several leading members of our government are deeply worried about some changes that were recently proposed on how the realm should be ruled. They demand a stop to outrageous reforms and return to our tried and trusted traditions. Naturally, they avoid to mention how the changes would impact their own power base. Such an intricate weapon. Threaten to expose their secrets unless they back down. I'll take the prestige hit. Not quite there yet. There are other ways to reduce autonomy, but still. Yeah, I can understand. And if I want to, I can enact this, even though this would alienate all of our neighbors. Including Austria, which is my ticket to get into the HRE. But this has its own benefits. With the clergy will be loyal to me. And we'll have no papal influence, because that'll be reduced, even though it has its uses. National unrest will be reduced. Anyway, Austria is still the emperor, but to join you gotta have very good relations. And of course they would tell me to please drop the alliance with the Ottomans. If you want to join, end your alliance. It has its benefits and flaws in joining the HRE. That didn't take long. Crimea. Oh, Crimea. We'll cede to this to Crimea. Crimea will be pillaged by Ottomans. Supposed to give reparations, but he didn't take their territory. What happened, man? No leaders. Venice won. They withdrew. What are you doing there? Ah. Let me look. I can repay them now if I want to, but I think we should be fine. Thank you. Allied to Milan. Ah. Sorry for wasting your time. So maybe, I guess Naples is the better option after all. Let's work on that. You want improved relations to the Ottomans. Good to know. We'll end the episode soon, because we're about to core Dubrovnik. And we'll deal with the separatism. And now they're about to finish off what's left of Albania. And you know Serbia's part of that too, you know? Oh dear. Eek. But a truce doesn't expire until next year. They couldn't take Theodore, so they had to take it out on somebody else. Why don't you call us in your war? I will be happy to take part of it and have Zeta for myself. There. Now. Dalmatia will be a state. Increase our income by a lot. When autonomy's been reduced to lower levels. There. Now here's the important part. The edict. For the state of Dalmatia, protect trade, so this adds more local trade power. Increases state maintenance. Make no state income out of this, so you could say, yeah, this is hemorrhaging cash, but when autonomy is lowered, it'll be a lot easier. If you could deal with the uprisings and the separatism and the religious unity, which we're slowly converting, and it does not seem to be any Orthodox zealots. That's good. Wait for December to come to end this episode right here. Yipe. Well, they don't like us. Are you sure? You desire my lands? Guess that's due to humiliation war. It's because you got a bone to pick with me. Of course, we'll get no papal influence out of this. Wouldn't take it out on Naples, but Genoa simply for the sake of it. Okay, what's the trade power? We have the strongest trade power now. 19, just barely beating out Venice and the Ottomans. Okay, because in this next episode, we need to build more ships. We need 5 galleys, which we currently have 2, so that'll be 3 more. Transport. Easy. So, 3, 4, 5. And you get these ships at the ready. Even though it would be. Yeah. So there'll be 2 years then. As long as we keep the trade power up and have enough money to build more marketplaces throughout the Bosnian areas in addition. I'll probably build one in Zagreb because of our capital. That is important to us dearly. Basically, any area that is within this trade node. But as long as you get it, then we'll be good. But if you want to improve this, you got to have 200 ducats. And a little bit of development too, which it can be worked on. So, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you've enjoyed this episode. Because Croatia has largely restored its old kingdom borders, with the exception of the expansion areas like Belgrade and Kotor. And we might expand again, knowing that the Ottomans are at war with Serbia, but where's our part? Because I want Zeta for the creation of Montenegro as a subject. Even though, one last thing to look at. Although, we can release Montenegro whenever we want to. Bringing back Ragusa would be counterproductive. Bosnia can't afford to lose it. And it does include Herzegovina. So, I need to focus on that trade power. Croatian fleet, dominate Dubrovnik, and then it leads you to these 2 paths. This one will never happen. Expel the Italians, which anybody who lives, or any province owner that I should say, that is a Latin, especially you, Venice, when they get done with you, all have to be expelled. What culture group did the Knights belong to? Well, Greeks live there. Can see. Not a Latin. Got it. So that's what we're trying to say. Latins out. And then we'll have that mission complete. And to withstand the Turks thing is, you gotta own a lot of provinces within the Balkans. So that means we have to look for new allies, knowing that one day we're gonna... There's still always the HRE. Despite the fact that we've alienated them. We can improve relations, but... And break an alliance with our longtime friends, the Ottomans, that helped us so much in this century. And you've got it, so... Anyways, hope you people have enjoyed this episode. And we hope for more great things for Croatia, as we will continue its wealth, trade, development, whatever we can, as we will build up the Navy for the first time. So, see you in the next one. But until then, so long for now. Pozdrav.